NASA's Commercial Crew Program and Starliner's role. NASA's Commercial Crew Program, CCP, was launched in 2010 with a mission to restore American crewed spaceflight capabilities by working with private companies. After the retirement of the Space Shuttle in 2011, NASA became dependent on Russia's Soyuz spacecraft for access to the International Space Station, ISS. CCP aimed to resolve this dependency by facilitating the development of U.S.-made crewed spacecraft, awarding contracts to Boeing and SpaceX in 2014. As part of this initiative, Boeing designed and built the CST-100 Starliner, a capsule intended to transport astronauts to the ISS and potentially other low-Earth orbit destinations. At the same time, SpaceX was contracted to develop the Crew Dragon capsule. SpaceX successfully launched its first crewed mission in 2020, making regular missions to the ISS since. However, the Starliner has faced ongoing challenges that have pushed its timeline back by several years. A timeline of delays for Starliner's first crewed mission. Starliner's timeline has been complex, marked by a series of setbacks that have required extensive time, resources, and effort to resolve. Initial development and delays, 2014 to 2018. Starliner's development faced early technical challenges, including extensive testing on its launch abort system, parachute system, and life support mechanisms. Originally expected to launch its first crewed mission by 2017, Boeing had to make multiple adjustments to meet NASA's rigorous safety standards. The combination of these requirements and initial technical difficulties caused the first significant delays. Orbital Flight Test 1, OFT-1, in 2019 and software issues. In December 2019, Boeing launched the first uncrewed mission of Starliner, called Orbital Flight Test 1, OFT-1. During this mission, the spacecraft failed to reach its intended destination due to a software issue. A timer malfunction caused Starliner to misfire its thrusters, preventing it from reaching the ISS and requiring it to return to Earth prematurely. This incident led to a series of software overhauls and additional reviews to prevent similar errors in future flights. COVID-19 and OFT-2 delays, 2020 to 2021. As Boeing prepared to launch OFT-2, a second uncrewed mission to verify the spacecraft's software and systems, the COVID-19 pandemic caused production and scheduling disruptions. In 2021, Boeing encountered further delays when a pre-launch inspection revealed a valve issue in Starliner's propulsion system, prompting additional troubleshooting and redesigns. Successful OFT-2 in 2022 and Crewed Flight Test, CFT, plans. After several attempts and redesigns, Boeing successfully completed the OFT-2 mission in May 2022, achieving all primary objectives, including docking with the ISS. This marked a major milestone for Starliner, seemingly clearing the path for the Crew Flight Test, CFT, its first mission with astronauts. NASA and Boeing initially scheduled CFT for late 2022, but further assessments identified new areas requiring attention. Current status and latest delays, 2023 present. The Crew Flight Test has been rescheduled multiple times throughout 2023. Recent delays have stemmed from ongoing concerns about Starliner's parachute system, wiring configurations, and life support mechanisms. These delays highlight the complexity of ensuring every component meets NASA's human rating certification standards. As of now, NASA and Boeing have not set a definitive launch date for the CFT, leading many to question when Starliner will finally complete its first crewed mission. Technical challenges contributing to the delays. Starliner's development has faced a variety of technical challenges, many of which are unique to the stringent requirements of human spaceflight. Each of these obstacles has required extensive work to address, resulting in the series of delays seen thus far. 1. Software reliability. The OFT-1 mission highlighted critical issues within Starliner's flight control software, which is essential for autonomous operations and docking with the ISS. Following OFT-1's timer malfunction, Boeing undertook a thorough review of Starliner's software, implementing significant updates and new testing protocols. This comprehensive software reevaluation has taken considerable time and effort, pushing back the mission schedule. 2. Propulsion system and valve malfunctions. The propulsion system, crucial for maneuvering the spacecraft in orbit, encountered problems during pre-launch checks for OFT-2 in 2021. Corrosion was discovered within the propulsion valves, suspected to be caused by moisture ingress. This unexpected issue led to a redesign of the valve system and additional testing to ensure long-term reliability, further delaying the timeline for Starliner's crewed missions. 3. Parachute system and landing safety. The parachute system, responsible for Starliner's safe descent, has undergone multiple rounds of modifications and testing. NASA requires a high level of reliability for parachutes in human-rated spacecraft, as failure in this system would be catastrophic. Starliner's parachutes have undergone multiple redesigns and rigorous testing, each iteration adding time to the development process. 4. Human rating certification process. NASA's certification standards for human spaceflight are some of the most stringent in the industry. Each system on the spacecraft must pass a series of tests and reviews, and even minor issues can require significant fixes or redesigns. Ensuring every part of the spacecraft meets NASA's human rating certification criteria has extended the timeline as Boeing works to address all concerns. 5. COVID-19 pandemic effects. The COVID-19 pandemic disrupted Starliner's production schedule and testing operations, impacting supply chains and limiting access to testing facilities. Though these disruptions were unavoidable, they exacerbated the delays already present in Starliner's timeline. Implications for NASA and commercial crew program goals. The delays facing Starliner's crewed mission have significant implications, not only for Boeing but also for NASA's goals and the wider space industry. 1. Reliance on SpaceX for crewed transport. Due to Starliner's setbacks, NASA has relied exclusively on SpaceX's Crew Dragon spacecraft for crewed missions to the ISS since 2020. Although Crew Dragon has proven successful, NASA originally intended for both SpaceX and Boeing to provide redundant crew transport options to mitigate risks. Starliner's delays have left NASA without a backup option, limiting flexibility in crew transport to and from the ISS. 2. Financial and contractual implications. The repeated delays have had financial repercussions for Boeing, as the company bears responsibility for many of the costs associated with the additional testing and redesigns. Moreover, each delay raises questions about the sustainability of the fixed-price contracts NASA issued under the Commercial Crew Program. Both NASA and Boeing face budgetary impacts as a result of the delays, putting pressure on NASA's resources for other projects. 3. Public and industry perception. The continued postponements have affected public perception of Boeing's capabilities in the space industry. Each delay raises questions about Boeing's ability to deliver on its commitments, which could impact its reputation and future contracts with NASA and other partners. Furthermore, as the delays continue, the industry's confidence in Boeing as a reliable provider for human spaceflight services may be affected. 4. Impacts on NASA's exploration goals. Starliner's delays could impact NASA's broader human exploration goals, including future missions to the Moon and Mars. If Starliner cannot be certified for crewed missions, NASA may need to adjust its timelines or reassess its reliance on the Commercial Crew Program for these longer-term projects. This could influence mission planning and resource allocation within NASA's human spaceflight program. NASA and Boeing's continued commitment to safety. Despite the frustrations surrounding Starliner's delays, NASA and Boeing remain committed to ensuring the spacecraft meets the highest standards of safety. Boeing has stated its dedication to resolving all technical issues and providing a reliable spacecraft for human spaceflight. Likewise, NASA has consistently emphasized that astronaut safety is its top priority and that the agency will not authorize a crewed launch until Starliner is thoroughly tested and certified. Boeing's response to the OFD-1 software issue, propulsion valve problems, and parachute testing requirements reflects a willingness to address every aspect of the spacecraft's performance. However, these steps also highlight the challenges inherent in developing a new crewed vehicle from scratch. Boeing has implemented a range of improvements, including extensive quality assurance processes and simulated mission scenarios, to prevent future anomalies. The road ahead for Starliner and NASA's Commercial Crew Program. The journey to Starliner's first crewed mission is far from over. While there is hope that the crew flight test will launch within the next year, recent delays suggest that additional challenges may yet emerge. NASA and Boeing are cautiously optimistic about Starliner's future, but the repeated setbacks have underlined the complexity of human spaceflight and the need for perseverance and resilience. NASA has reaffirmed its commitment to the Commercial Crew Program and its reliance on a robust partnership with the private sector to achieve its space exploration goals. As Starliner moves closer to its first crewed mission, both NASA and Boeing hope the spacecraft will provide a safe and dependable transportation option, enhancing the United States crewed spaceflight capabilities. If successful, Starliner will become a symbol of resilience, innovation, and dedication to the advancement of human space exploration.